Hello there, this is Darth Melvin, leader of the Knights of Melvin. The Bad Batch is 9 episodes into its 3rd season, and I gotta say, I think it's the worst Disney Star Wars show there is because it is boring. Now, back in January, Asajj Ventress made an appearance in the trailer, and a lot of people were like, hey, what's going on here? Asajj Ventress died in the Disney Canon novel Dark Disciple, but she was in the trailer of The Bad Batch, and people were wondering why. So Brad Rau, executive producer of The Bad Batch, came out with this quote, "We don't want to spoil anything, but want fans to know that any new storytelling with Ventress will align with the events of Star Wars Dark Disciple." Well, she's dead in Star Wars Dark Disciple. She's alive in The Bad Batch. So you have a huge contradiction there. There is also the difference in the lightsaber hilts. Now, some people might be crying, Melvin, they're just nitpicking at space movies. Hey, I take my canon very seriously, and if Disney thinks that they are the true canon, then I'm gonna have to judge them accordingly. There's something you gotta realize about me. If there is a way to make a Disney shill cry, I'm going to find it, and I'm going to execute. And I do it very well. There's people probably watching the video right now that can't stand me. And it's great. Earlier in the day, the official Star Wars account came out with this tweet. How she survived will be revealed in future content. But for this story, we were thrilled to include her and explore her unique connection to and compassion for Omega. We get Asajj Ventress in Episode 9, and like Episode 9, The Rise of Skywalker, somehow Ventress returned. Somehow Palpatine returned. Somehow Ventress returned. How did they return? I don't know. Fuck you. Who cares? So if you've been reading the Disney books, Dark Disciple, I mean, you're wondering, how is she alive? They did not reveal how Asajj Ventress survived, and certainly they did not reveal why she has a different lightsaber hilt. What's the story with that? And people are only speculating what's going to happen next with Asajj Ventress. It became very clear to me after watching the episode and then reading this quote. Asajj Ventress might just be a one and done in The Bad Batch. See, I thought she was going to be in the rest of the show, maybe not in every single episode, but she was going to play a crucial part in the finale, but it seems like this is a one and done for The Bad Batch. Asajj Ventress is not going to appear in the show, so when is she going to appear next? Molly Damon has a theory for you. Tales of the Jedi, baby! Sometimes Star Wars is more fun without straight answers, whispers only gay ones. This is the top shill in the Star Wars community. Molly Damon of Star Wars Sexplained. This is Disney's target audience. So let's take a look at the Ventress article from the official Disney Star Wars website. Article by Dan Brooks, who looks like a total fucking bitch. I bet he has pronouns in his Twitter profile. When it comes to Ventress' return, however, there's need to address the bantha in the room. For all intents and purposes, Ventress met her demise in Star Wars Dark Disciple, a novel based on unused scripts of the Clone Wars. Still, series creator Dave Filoni, executive producer Brad Rau, and executive producer / head writer Jennifer Corbett had a plan. Sure they did. Ventress is one of our all-time favorite characters, Rau says. So when Dave brought up the idea of bringing her into the Bad Batch, we were beyond excited. Notice how he said Dave Filoni came up with the idea of putting her in the Bad Batch. Not Rau. Not Jennifer Corbett, it was Dave Filoni! Dave Filoni, who doesn't give a shit about canon, who doesn't give a shit about the Disney novels, which is a part of the Disney expanded universe. And it doesn't matter if you like to pretend that those books don't exist, they are the recognized canon in Disney Star Wars. Only if you are Dave Filoni, you don't have to recognize the books. We had several discussions about the book and how her story could continue, Corbett explains. How she survived will be revealed in future Star Wars content. But for this story, we were thrilled to include her and explore her unique connection to and compassion for Omega. They found a way to continue her story, Futterman says. Yeah, just bring her back and don't explain it. The shills will eat it up. They won't care. The Batch don't trust Ventress and become hostile when they realize who she actually is. But this is the new Asajj, and she goes easy on the elite clones, stopping short of killing them. She even hangs around to test Omega, acting as something of a mentor, and ultimately saves her from a giant sea creature by connecting it through the Force. In this episode, Asajj Ventress does tests on Omega because it's revealed that she has a high M count, high midichlorian count, and so she does some tests on her. Hey, can't she wield the Force? And of course anyone can wield the Force because Sabine Wren can do it, but Omega has a high midichlorian count, so of course she can wield the Force, and Asajj Ventress in this episode confirms it. So get ready for more Omega. Maybe an Omega spin-off. Maybe she's going to be in Rey's Jedi Order. Though Ventress walks away from the Bad Batch and Omega in the end, there's a feeling that the future is wide open, or as Futterman says, that Asajj could do anything and become anything. I think we're going to find out a lot of things about a lot of things, Futterman says, and I think we're going to have all kinds of fun adventures. Oh yeah, we're going to have all sorts of fun adventures in an Omega spin-off. Ventress is going to show up in the Mandoverse along with Omega. They're going to be in Rey's new Jedi Order, and there's going to be Reva there as well. So get ready for more strong women in Disney Star Wars. When they eventually get around to explaining it, is it going to make sense? I'm willing to bet it's going to be laughable. And I'm willing to bet there's going to be no explanation for the lightsabers being different. Disney Star Wars is trash. If you are clinging on and hoping that it's gonna get better, it's not. Dave Filoni is complete garbage. The Bad Batch is boring as hell, and they just revive characters with no explanation. And the train wreck of Disney Star Wars is only going to continue. You gotta decide, do you want Disney Star Wars to succeed after many, many failures? Or do you want to join the dark side and hope that it completely fails? Make sure to become a Knight, subscribe to the channel, join the Knights of Melvin Discord, help plot to take down Disney and all their shills.
The dark side of the Force is a pathway to many abilities some consider to be unnatural.